Today on Megadads Live, we're taking to the rails of Denshattack. We've got Parent of the Month, and in the caboose, we're recommending the Wanderlight Trail at the Minnesota Zoo. Choo-choo, let's start the show. You ever been arrested before?
Once.
Megadads Live is a mature-rated podcast. It's for the Megadads, the Mega Moms, but not the Mega Kids, so put on those earmuffs and let's go!
I was coming off the highway and I was with a group of us and we had too many suitcases in the back. So I couldn't see behind me.
Mm-hmm.
As I was coming off this ramp, apparently I was speeding and I, was just going way too fast. Didn't see or hear the cop. So he gets pissed because he claims that he was behind me for quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he pulled me out of the car, gave me the cuffs, put me in the back, started yelling at me and all that shit. He got really upset. This was in not Georgia. This was in it may have been Michigan.
So this is not. See, I imagine every time I think about you, where you live, I imagine Chicago PD.
Oh no, this was like some type of state trooper bullshit where he was just like, I thought he was gonna kill me. Like he was really pissed.
You look like one of them Spanish people.
Get
in the back.
That's as close as I got to being arrested. Was just cuffed and put in the car. I shouldn't say I went to jail or anything like that because he let me go. But he hurt me. Yeah, he hurt me with the cuffs though. That shit is real. I was like, what the fuck? Because he was angry. And then I had asked, hey, don't, can you, this hurts or whatever. And he's like, put him tighter. And I'm like, motherfucker. Like, fucking sucks. So I just didn't say anything else. Because I was like, if he puts him any tighter, I could have like damage. So yeah, it's rough out there. How about you? You've been locked up, been in the clanker, in the hooskow?
I've been arrested once for disorderly conduct.
What'd you do?
I went and I tracked down my dad's girlfriend after he had passed away because I caught wind of the fact that she was selling his shit off.
What?
And his shit also included some shit of my mom's and my grandparents.
Right. Just selling your shit, basically.
Basically selling our shit. And so I went and found her and gave her the business in her place of business, which included a lot of colorful language.
Yeah.
And then the cops came and I was processed and
took you away
somewhere in rural Wisconsin. There's a mugshot of me in a Bullet Bill t-shirt.
Okay.
But I bring up this story because I was damn convinced that I was going to get arrested just a couple of weeks ago. I was talking about this in the Discord. These fuckers in my neighborhood who were hassling my kids.
Yeah.
My daughter was riding her bike in front of our house, and these little fuckers driving around in their golf cart, because that's like the thing now is like teenagers drive.
I've heard of this.
Golf
Kids
carts
are taking
and
golf
e-bikes
carts
and all this
and
shit.
Stuff. Yeah.
And basically they juked at her. And she almost fell off of her bike, and they laughed at her, and they went driving by, and she came in the house, and she was upset, and she told me about it. And my dad ass went into Terminator mode, and I marched right out the front door, and I walked to the neighborhood for like 15, 20 minutes until I found them.
Yeah.
And I fucking marched right up to their teenage asses, and I let them have it. I was just chewing their ass out. You keep that shit away from my kid or I'm going to, Anyway, So they came by our house. They slow rolled by our house multiple times, just like harassing us and all that stuff. So we got the cops involved. But like the whole time I'm like, I'm going to get myself in so much trouble because I went like bull with the red thing,
Yeah,
like
it's hard.
I could have fucking killed these kids.
You want to protect your kids. Like you don't mess with, it's like the mama bear thing or whatever. Like don't mess with mama bear or whatever. Like it's hard,
Don't
it
mess with
just
the
excites something inside you and you're trying to, protect your kids. Yeah.
And I felt so dumb afterwards because it's like I'm 45 years old.
Yeah.
And yes, these kids are assholes and they deserved to get yelled at, but also like I'm 45 years old. Like,
Yeah.
I should be able to take a breath and like handle this in a way that's a little bit better for my kids. Like my kids were freaked out because I just went like marching out the door.
Shit, yeah.
And so they were upset and my wife was upset. And I was like, God, I'm just a dumbass. And this is a cautionary tale.
Cautionary.
Right?
Yep.
Just like when dumb shit happens that doesn't really matter, you know, like in another day, cooler heads will prevail. You go on with your life. Like, man, don't be an atom. Let that shit go.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, there's that balance because you're excited in the moment and you're like heated, and you know, take a couple breaths, you know, get it under control. You do hope though that we still have a society, right? Like for instance, these kids harassing your kids. So you don't want to hurt these kids because they're kids, but these kids are like basically almost like threatening to hurt your daughter. So it's like, you know, it's like, can we just bring it within the, you know, the societal like rules and construct of like cut the shit.
Yeah.
So we don't have to like take this somewhere outside the bounds of like, you know, normal discourse or whatever. Like, let's not escalate this any further. And assholes.
And when you and I were kids, like that was the world we lived in. But
I
now,
didn't know that you could go to jail for violence until I was an adult. Like, because somebody was like, "Oh, that's assault, that's battery, or whatever." And I think I thought it was like a cartoon or movie thing, right? But like, I just never put two and two together. That like, let's say you were you go up to somebody and like you messing with their like wife or something, and you're like, "Hey, she's a bitch, you're an asshole, blah blah blah." And I thought that you can hit that person because of what they said, but I learned later that if someone is just an asshole or doing asshole things or just threatening, there's all these lines and rules that say you cannot do violence unless someone else does violence first. I learned that I must have been like 16, 18 years old. I also didn't know you couldn't drink outside because I was drinking outside, and the cop comes and he's like, "What are you doing?" and then I was like,
we're enjoying a nice Sunday morning.
Yeah, because we were doing other stuff at the time too. So I was just like, we're just grilling or whatever. Yeah. And he's all like, "You can't be out here just drinking like on the Chicago sidewalk." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You can't just drink in public." I didn't know that either.
Yeah, because drinking is for when you're home and sad, not for when you're having fun outside.
There's also, see, because in my mind too, I'm like, I've drank outside. You know, in my mind, it's like at a restaurant or at people's houses or whatever. Like I've never, like, I guess I didn't realize like the public nature. I've also drank at like outdoor events, and it's like public-ish. I'm like, since when? I'm like, Anyway,
I snorted cocaine in a Burger King parking lot. No biggie. Yeah. No
Where's
big deal.
The law? Where's the law?
Yeah. Give me my
it's
Whopper.
A victimless crime.
This program is powered by Megadad's Boost, our public support program. You can join at patreon.com/Megadads. For over 10 years, Megadads has been bringing you the best in podcasts, reviews, interviews, family fun, and so much more. As an independent media organization, we rely on audience members like you to help support what we do, to ensure that Megadads can continue to bring you the great content that you enjoy. If you've been watching, listening, or playing along through the years, please consider lending your support by becoming a member of Megadad's Boost. Memberships start for as little as $1 a month, and you can start collecting your Boost rewards from day one. Rewards like art cards, early access podcasts, reviews, gameplay clips, and so much more. Please visit patreon.com/Megadads and become a member today. You can help us continue to make more of that Megadads coverage you've loved over the last 10 years well into the future by becoming a member of Megadad's Boost. It's time for Parent of the Month.
All right.
Parent of the Month, we talk about wonderful parenting stories. I got a micro story here. This is just a tweet, but I extracted something from it that made me like, ugh, right? Okay, so here's the tweet. I left my son at home with my husband for 2 days, and the first thing my son said to me when I came home was, "Can I have sheets on my bed again?" Right? So the first thing you're like, oh man, what did the dad do? Right? The kid shit the bed and he didn't change it. But then when I reread it, the sentence, I left my son at home with my husband, triggered me. Mm-hmm. Like, is your husband not an equal part of the parenting equation? You left your son at home with my husband for 2 days. Like, it's some great big risk.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole here? Or does this, I mean, granted, he didn't change the sheets, but like, I don't like this whole, I don't like when people say like, oh, my husband is babysitting while I go out of, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. It's just, I don't like that.
There's, the gender roles are so strong still in like society and just like what people say like is expected. Like if you go back to like old cartoons and sitcoms, like dad is always the bumbling idiot. Like it hasn't been since like the 50s and 60s that it's like, oh, dad is the source of knowledge and the rock and strong and capable, and it's just it's eroded into like Homer Simpson and you know, this is kind of who we are, like dads are. And I'm hoping that the pendulum swings. I mean, it's on us, we got to step it up, you know, as
it's on us, you and me.
It's on us. We got to try to do better, you know what I mean? Let's try to break the mold where they look at us. And here's what I want people to say about dads in general, like in the future. They tried. You know what I mean? They tried. I mean, they gave some effort. I mean, there's so much truth to this, though. They call it the unsupervised husband trope when you're leaving your kids with dad because God knows what's going to happen. So I looked up what you said because I was like, oh, I wonder if there's more to this story. Not too much more. The mom clarified later that she had left clean sheets in the dryer when she left.
He probably doesn't even know where that is.
Yeah, so this was just like a lazy dude, a bad, you know.
I'm going to give her a pass on this one because her husband sounds like a dick.
Yeah.
But I'm seriously thinking of rebranding Megadads with a new tagline. They tried. Megadads. They tried.
That's it. I think moms just kill it like in so many areas. It's also kind of not fair. It's not just like that they like take swimming. It's not just like they're better swimmers. It's like Olympic swimming versus fucking around in the back like inflatable pool. Like moms are just so good at a lot. But we need to get better at them.
We'll get better.
We need to get on the shit. Feed them, bathe them, do the shit you know you should do. I mean, I try. You know what I mean? I try really hard, actually. I try really hard to get a passing grade. But it's rough out here. Can you comb your daughter's hair, Adam?
Sure. I don't think she wants me to. See,
you? Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I can as well, but I'm not going to be doing it right.
I can't do the fancy twirly whirlies and all that stuff. I mean, I guess it's a trope for a reason.
Yeah, this is what I'm getting at. Yeah, this is like we got to flip full circle on this.
I've gone from being like, "How dare you?" to being like, "Nah, you're right."
Yeah, you're kind of fucking right. Like I mess up the weirdest stuff like on the parenting front. So I'm learning, Adam. Help me. Teach me your ways. Teach me how to be an amazing dad like you.
We're gonna get through this together.
We're in this together. More than 12 years ago, Megadad started as a place for an older generation to go to talk about their love of video games. We know that just because you get older doesn't mean you stop having fun, and gaming will always be our passion. But just as people grow and change over the years, so has Megadads, and that's why today's Megadads celebrates fun, fully grown.
We know your interests are broad. Ours are too. And while video games will always be at the core of what we do, we're dedicated to showing you all the ways we celebrate fun, fully grown here at Megadads.
Whether it's playing the latest video games,
checking out the coolest movies,
finding the rarest cards,
unboxing amazing collectibles,
or simply exploring the world around us.
you can be sure you'll get coverage of the best that life has to offer. There's so much to enjoy in this world, and we here at Megadads are dedicated to showing it to you. So subscribe today and come by every day, because this is Megadads, fun, fully grown.
You want to talk about a video game?
Yes, of course. Let's do it.
Denshattack is an action game from Undercoders. That's fun to say. Undercoders. It's available on all platforms. I'm playing this on the PlayStation 5. I had played the Denshattack demo, which was a surprisingly meaty demo on Switch 2. They released this, I think, about 2 months ago. It was a huge demo, and you got to do all sorts of fun things. And I said to myself, I've got to play this when it comes out. It seems like it's very inspired by the Dreamcast era. It's fast, vibrant, colorful, great music, and it's all kind of like sporty, tricky, like that Jet Grind radio game. It just has that 2000s carefree, let's just go fast and have a lot of fun attitude. The game, the story of the game, the lore of the game is it takes place in the future in Japan.
There's lore.
There is lore. There's been a climate crisis, and now there are dome cities. Like, they built these domes around all the major cities inside of the main metropolis areas in Japan. But there are people who live outside the domes. That's who you are. That's who you play as, and they partake in this sport called Denshattack, and it is not just racing on trains, but it's trick styling on trains. So the trains don't function like real trains do in the world. That wouldn't be any fun. Instead, what you're doing is you're racing on a track, jumping from track to avoid obstacles or to take new turns. Maybe a track will split. You got to decide if you're going to go left or you're going to go right. You grind. There's rail grinding, exactly the way it sounds, like a BMX game. They'll give you one of those little tilt things where you have to put your cursor in the middle so that you maintain your grind. You can wall run in this game. So your train will jump off the tracks and you'll be skidding along on the wall. Basically, it's a train in name only, right? Because this thing is moving in all sorts of ways that are not train related. You have big jumps and perform tricks, just like a Tony Hawk style game. You're collecting collectibles that you can use to pimp out your train. You have different colors and different stickers, different body types, things like that. And this thing is just wild. There are boss fights in it where you fight against like giant robots, and it's all done sort of on rails, right? Like, you're always moving forward because you're either on a track or you're grinding or you're wall running. So the momentum is always going forward. You can't really steer, but you do have a lot of agency in where you go because of the way that you jump and move to another adjacent track, or you jump and move to a different path. So it's not like you're completely hopeless in regards to dictating where your train goes. But a lot of what you're doing is you're performing tricks, you're avoiding obstacles, you're collecting as many things as you can on the screen, and it is blisteringly fast. So it's gonna be challenging. You'll die quite a bit in the game, but it's very forgiving because it just automatically respawns you. Respawn, respawn, respawn. Die, respawn. Get you right back on the track. Get you going as fast as we can. So you never feel like, I got to do this course over again. They just put you right back in it. It's easy. It's breezy. It's fun. It's fast. It's okay if you're not that good. Just do some crazy-ass moves. It's going to be so colorful and fun and wild. And then when you get to the end of the track, they give you like a score. This is how well you did on your tricks. This is how well you did on your time. These are the amount of collectibles that you did or didn't do. Here are your sub-objectives. There's sub-objectives. So, like, there'll be some courses where you're going through a cave, and one of the sub-objectives is toot your horn in the train and scare the bats, right? Like, really simple, easy stuff. Everything about this game is fast,
quick, don't think too much about it, and it looks crazy. Have you played the Denshattack demo? Is this a game that you're interested in at all?
I tend to shy away from the real quirky games. I just tend to like go for the mainstream.
Yeah.
So one of the things that bothers me immediately about this game was the speed and the amount of things that are coming at you, because
nonstop.
Due to the art style and the coloring, shading, lack of like shadows, when I watch gameplay, I'm incredibly confused about what's happening, like where I can go. Like, how do I know that I can go? Like, I can hardly even see that there's a billboard or wall there on the right to grind on. How am I doing it? Also, if there's a barrier right in front of me, it's coming very fast. So how can I see this barrier? Yeah. It's red, but there's a lot of colors on screen. Is it always red? Like, how does it manage being so fast and giving you like a sense like, hey, this isn't unfair?
There's a couple of things. I have that exact same thought, and which immediately called to mind like my lack of skills in present day at like Rocket. I used to be so fast. I used to be able to play Freebird like nobody's business, right? And now I'm a little bit slower. My reflexes are a little bit slower. My eyesight's a little bit worse. And I wonder if a younger person would get their hands on the sticks of Denshattack and just do crazy execution. So I think part of what you're thinking and how I feel sometimes playing it is just like, God, I can't keep up. And I think that's because we're old fuckers. But the game does have a visual language to it where there are street signs on the top and center of the screen. Different colors, different arrows, different icons to indicate what's coming. So an obstacle on the track will get a big red diamond with an exclamation mark indicating you got to get out of the way. You can jump, you can move to another adjacent track, however, you got to get out of the way. There's arrows that'll indicate that there's going to be a sharp turn, which you kind of do like a drifting boost like Mario Kart, where you hold down the brake button and you release it at the right time and it rockets you forward. There are visual indicators that say, hey, this is what's coming. This is what's coming. And I think because of the fact that it is semi on rails, you're able to focus a little bit more on the immediate moves that you need to do to get out of the way, as opposed to like a racing game driving and you're like steering in the road very, very little by little by little. On Denshattack, you can just kind of like narrow your focus because you're on a rail. And when one of those big obstacles comes up, you can focus on that, right? Just don't worry about the side shit. I just got to make sure I get out of the way for this. So there is some forgiveness in that. And then also the multitude of paths and the way the game is just kind of pushing you forward all the time. Even when you're penalized, even if you die, like it gets you back in it so fast that, okay, well now I know I got to jump there. So it's really like a 10-second penalty at best because they put you right in front of it again. Now you know to jump. Keep going. So there's a real forgiveness to the gameplay that even if you are crashing over and over and over again, like you're still going to get through it. Just stick with it a little longer. None of the courses run longer than like 5 minutes. So.
It looks fantastic, like visually.
Mm-hmm.
I almost wish that things slowed down at certain points so you can kind of take in the world that they've built, because it's very kind of like larger than life, a little bit of like future, a little bit of like it's just big vibes like all across the board. And I almost wish that it wasn't going so fast. Like fast. There's these black speed lines that just come up to like give you that sense of like almost like motion blur, like to give you that sense of momentum. And I almost feel overwhelmed by everything on screen. I think I'm just a little bit too old for what might be happening here.
There is so much happening on the screen all the time that I absolutely understand how a person would be just like exhausted playing it. They do some really cool things though, where the camera will kind of change position.
Yeah, I love when they do that. I love that in all games.
Yeah, based on like a cinematic thing that's happening. So the camera is a chase camera because it's like, it's like a racing kind of thing. But there'll be moments where it'll pull back and it'll go to the side so that it's like a side-scrolling platformer all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And you're jumping pitfalls and grabbing things out of the air. And the camera will position. There are even moments where the camera will position itself in front of the train. And all of a sudden you're doing like Crash Bandicoot style chase sequences.
That's awesome.
Where there's one of the levels is you're inside of an active volcano. And there are 5 adjacent tracks and you can jump back and forth between them at will. And the lava is building up from inside the volcano as you're driving straight out the top. The camera's in front of you, so you see what's behind you, and it's shooting fireballs at you. And the fireballs line up on those 5 tracks. So there's a fireball coming up the center track. You got to jump over to the left, or you got to jump over to the right. There's lots of moments in this game that it does things like that, where it'll switch the perspective and add just a little new flavor to the gameplay. So you're doing something a little bit different. It's like the same thing with the boss fights. Like you actually have to fight a giant robot at one point, and it does all sorts of different moves, and the camera moves into different positions. There's so much going on in this game. It is like just hopped up on Jolt Cola for sure.
I really like that you can unlock different skins for the train to make it look different. These boss fights look like fun. Yeah, I love when boss fights are just like, I love that this is happening right now. The boss is interesting. There's some mechanic at play here. It's changing up the game in an interesting way. Like the bosses look really cool. It looks like a perfect capstone to some of this. $20. It's a value right now. They even have it on this introductory offer, 10% off. You can get it for $17.99 right now on Steam, and it's on Switch too. Didn't realize that.
They were promoting steal this at that price, and it's a great summer game.
Yeah,
and you talked about
we were talking about summer games.
Yeah, you talked about bringing games like on vacation or something like that. This is a perfect Switch game. Pick it up and play quick sessions or whatever. But it's just got that super bright, colorful, happy, energetic vibe to it. Like even the bosses aren't really bad. The first boss that I fight after I beat her, she's like, "Oh man, you're really good at this. I'm gonna join your crew." And all of a sudden, she's like an NPC that's in your crew. So it's just like this whole feeling of like just having fun and letting loose. That just calls to mind a bygone Dreamcasty era, and it's good to have a game like that just kind of feels fun and light, and that's what Denshattack is. And you can play it on, like you said, pretty much everything. So
it's awesome.
At a bargain price, that's Denshattack. And that sound right there is the caboose. We're recommending something outside the world of video games we think you might enjoy. I took my kids, this is very regional specific, but I took my kids to the Minnesota Zoo.
Okay.
Because they have what is called the Wanderlight Trail. It's a limited experience right now where they have dressed up the outdoor paths at the Minnesota Zoo with all sorts of neon lights and holograms, and there's music. And I thought this looked so cool. They usually do this kind of thing around like Christmas time. They'll put Christmas lights in and you can drive through the zoo or whatever. But this is an on-foot path walking through the zoo at night with all these colorful like lanterns and neon lights. And I got a story behind it. We took the kids to the zoo. We spent the entire day there. We went at 12 o'clock. We went at lunchtime. We stayed till 6. They shut the zoo down, and then they open it back up at 7 for this Wanderlight experience. It's like separate tickets, right? And there's a storm rolling in. A big storm. A massive storm. A shelter-in-place storm.
Okay.
And we started walking this trail, and the clouds are rolling in, and we're watching our phones and the alerts, and we're like, this is looking pretty hairy.
Yeah.
And it starts lightning and thundering, and my kids freak out. I'm like, okay, we'll turn around, we'll go back, we'll wait out the storm inside until this thing passes. The storm hits. It's bad. Like, it's really bad. We end up sheltering in the zoo for 40 minutes, waiting for the storm to pass. They opened up the aquarium to people who are waiting out the storm, but all the lights are off because they must be like on timers and shit. So we're walking around the zoo in the dark after hours. It was super cool. I'm going to put footage of it. Awesome. I'm going to put footage on this while I'm talking about it. Make sure you're watching the YouTube. And then when the rain got light enough, we went out and did the trail in the rain because like we paid a shitload of money for this. So we're going to do it. Right? The lightning stopped. The heavy wind stopped. It was just pouring rain on us. We had the greatest experience of being in the zoo after hours, of walking through this trail in the rain. The exhibit itself is really cool. So if you're in the Minnesota area and you go to the Minnesota Zoo, I believe this is open until mid-August. Just a hell of a lot of fun, but an extremely unique family experience. And there's nothing better than having a moment like that where things don't turn out the way you expected. Yeah. But you end up with a lifelong core memory for you and your kids. They're gonna remember this forever.
Yeah, I like that. You're right. Core memory, maybe not going according to plan, but still very memorable. Speaking of memorable, Adam, how about this World Cup? My suggestion to you.
Yeah.
My recommendation was this soccer is the World Cup. As you get older, like I get more into baseball and I start to understand it more. It started with football, then baseball, and now soccer. Like it's just at the right time. You're watching with the right collective energy, and there's so much like zeitgeist about it that I've watched quite a few matches of the World Cup. Watched a lot of highlights as well. By the time people are listening to this, a champion would have been crowned between the finals. They're playing very soon, and it's going to be between Spain and Argentina. So congratulations to whoever ended up winning that. But some really good games in there. Something that I notice, Adam, you learn about like the flopping and like what the actual penalties are. Because it's always a joke. Like for some reason, culturally it's acceptable to like flail and yell and scream like you're dying, like, and you're supposed to do it, I guess, to try to win because you're trying to like work the refs and get the yellow card or red card or whatever on the teammates, so they will flop. And it's very interesting to watch when you understand like the stakes, because they were explaining to me like, oh, the yellow card, what it means, like if you're doing a foul, you're kicking from the side, you're doing a free kick, etc. Yeah. And if you get a red card, which happened in one of the matches, you play down. So you think of a big soccer field, all this space, all these people, but if you're missing one whole player, that's quite a big like penalty that you just have to play down a man. Very interesting. Did you get a chance to watch anything? Did you have a team?
I didn't have a team, but I absolutely was watching. My wife got really into it. We had a game on when I got home tonight, and there was like a big fight after the game. Like everybody was.
Yeah, I saw that guy. He hit the other guy for no reason. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, just heated shit. I mean, they say it's like the most popular sport in the world, right?
Yeah, so that's what they say.
It's a lot like basketball with me, where it's like I'll watch it. I don't have a fucking clue what the rules are, what's actually happening, but I'll watch it because it's fun. But the flopping sucks.
For soccer in particular, like certain sports have to be played at a high level to be interesting. Like if you're just watching two bad ping pong players, it's really bad. But if you see like super high skill ping pong or super high skill golfers, super high skill like the NBA finals, that's when it gets juicy. Same thing with baseball, like World Series. It's great. So seeing it at this stage, really fun. I mean, it's cool to see what they could do out there. I mean, they're running around like crazy all day in 100-degree weather. So God bless them. World Cup, everybody, soccer.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Megadads Live. Thank you guys so much for joining us here at youtube.com/Megadads or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Make sure you join us on the Megadads Discord. If you like what you heard and what you saw, you can be a Boost member by going to patreon.com/Megadads. You get every podcast early and ad-free. That's going to do it for us this week. Have yourselves a good one. We'll see you next week on an all-new episode of Megadads Live.